We finally did it. We finally hit 100 subscribers. I'm not sure I even know 100 people, so the fact that this many people enjoyed my content so much to choose to subscribe astonishes me. Thank you all so much for supporting me throughout the past year, and I'd like to let you know how much I appreciate each and every one of you, no matter if you're number 5 or 95. Number 96, you're dead to me. So let's actually get into this video. I'm going to be playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but instead of a tasty breakfast, I'm using a nuclear kaiju. This has gotten a lot easier since Godzilla's had a bunch of crossovers recently, which does undermine some connections due to them being pretty obvious, but I don't mind as I'd rather see Spider-Man fight the Big G than have this video be a little better. So without any further ado, let's get into this. Enjoy. So for those of you who don't know, the Kevin Bacon game is about connecting any actor to Kevin Bacon within a certain number of connections, and these connections are made by actors starring in a movie or TV show. It's pretty fun if you have some knowledge on celebrities. At least I assume it is because I do not have some knowledge on celebrities. We'll be doing that today, but in reverse, starting from Godzilla and trying to find as many franchises that connect to him. This is made significantly easier due to most corporate movies nowadays having many references, Easter eggs, and fan service moments. Godzilla has a few crossovers, so it's less of one clear route and more so a lot of tangling pathways. Let's start with the DC universe. Last year, a comic series was released that pitted Godzilla, Kong, and other MonsterVerse titans against popular DC characters, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Kite Man. Recently, Godzilla has also had a crossover with Marvel and will soon be fighting the entire universe in a comic inspired by the popular and incredibly well-known comic Squirrel Girl Beats Up the Marvel Universe. Jokes aside, the Squirrel Girl comics are hilarious. This one features a Squirrel Hulkbuster. Getting back on track, this means that characters like Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor the Blob are all now connected to Godzilla. Also, I feel like now's a good time to mention there doesn't have to be canon to each character, like the Iron Giant being in both Space Jam and Multiverses would count as a connection. It's just the characters, not the story. Also, yes, Marvel and DC have had multiple crossovers, so yes, Godzilla is connected to Godzilla. Just run with it. Now it's time for SpongeBob. Yes, SpongeBob. Both SpongeBob and Godzilla are inspired by the Bikini Atoll nuclear tests. Yes, that's why they live in Bikini Bottom. But outside of the real world, how could I connect them? Well, Godzilla has had a comic crossover with the Power Rangers, with the second one coming out this year. Now the Power Rangers have had a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and one of them, Raphael, is a playable character in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. You know who else is a playable character? SpongeBob. Oh, and also Godzilla. Back to DC, since their parent company is Warner Bros., of course Looney Tunes have had a crossover, with Bugs Bunny, Marvin the Martian, and Wile E. Coyote, we don't talk about Wile E. Coyote, having all crossed over with various DC characters. We can even connect Big Chungus due to mobile games and Warner Bros.' desperate attempts to stay relevant. And Batman, Superman, Bugs, Marvin, and more appear in the hit fighting game that was abruptly cancelled due to poor updates and underwhelming character choices. That's right, Multiverses. Multiverses features a lot of franchise from Warner Bros.' vast catalogue, like Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, Gremlins, The Iron Giant, and LeBron James. Oh, and also The Rock, he's in here too. By now you've probably made another connection to Space Jam, so now Harry Potter, Mad Max, and this video's worth of Easter eggs are all connected to Godzilla. But what about games? Well, SpongeBob appears in Brawlhalla, which has also had a crossover with Star Wars. Darth Vader, The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, they're all connected to Godzilla. But someone else who appears in this game is Ryu, so now Street Fighter is connected. But even bigger than that, Ryu appears in Super Smash Bros. Yes, over 90 of gaming's most iconic characters and Min Min are now connected to Godzilla. Mario, Sonic, Pokemon, Captain Falcon, Link, Fox, Samus, Sephiroth, Kiryu, Animal Crossing, Persona, and perhaps my favourite, Minecraft. And since technically Steve can spend his Minecoins in the marketplace, this opens up a whole new can of worms. Kung Fu Panda, Ben 10, How to Train Your Dragon, Avatar, The Worst Avatar, Shrek, Despicable Me, Sonic the Hedgehog, oh wait, Mario, oh wait, Godzilla, oh wait. That's one way to connect Showa Godzilla and Shin Godzilla to Heisei and MonsterVerse Godzilla, oh wait. But not only Minecraft, but Chicken Jockey, Flint and Steel, Big Ol' Red Ones, What a Bucket Release, and Steve's Lava Chicken are now connected to Godzilla. You'll have to trust me as I can't get any footage, but Rob appears in the Minecraft movie. He's a blinking and missing cameo in Game Overworld before they enter the portal, and Rob also appears in Mario Kart DS, which also features Mario, who appears in Super Smash Bros. Oh wait, another game that appears is Rampage, but it's a lot harder to spot than Godzilla. It's on a big sign at the top of a shelf. Some YouTubers also appear, so DanTDM, Mumbo Jumbo, and the absolute legend as Technoblade, rest in peace, are connected to Godzilla. And since Mumbo Jumbo is also here, yes, I've connected Hermitcraft with Godzilla. I have way too much free time. Now for a quick connection, multiple Marvel characters appear in Disney Infinity, and in case you argue that these characters are based on the MCU, they're multiple characters and items taken directly from the comics. But if you're so insistent, that means that the MCU and the Monsterverse are connected. Side note, an animated Godzilla crossover movie with either DC or Marvel would be amazing. Disney Infinity also features a multitude of Disney characters, and even some Marvel characters, so Mickey Mouse, Harry the Platypus, Mike Wazowski, Buzz Lightyear, Jack Sparrow, Stitch, Baymax, Aladdin, Alice, Baloo, Nemo, and dozens more are now Godzilla adjacent, not even beginning to include everyone in their respective franchises. As well as that, Luke Skywalker, Kermit the Frog, the real Kermit the Frog, Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Kylo Ren, yep, they're all connected. Sonic also appears in Angry Birds, so now Red, Chuck, Bomb, and the Big One are connected to Godzilla. Now at the peak, or should I say beak, of Angry Birds' popularity, they made multiple crossover games. To make a long story short, this line, I'm a feathery freak with a beak, a bird murderer. You think you're better than me? I never heard of you. Is now Godzilla canon. Oh, and also Optimus Prime, kinda overshadowed by. Like an abandoned school, I have no principle. Back to Warner Brothers, the Iron Giant also appears prominently in Ready Player One, which means that King Kong, Alien, Back to the Future, Battletoads, The Shining, Jurassic Park, and even Monty Python are now connected to Godzilla. Yes, Monty Python. Thank you, fan service movies. A lot of these franchises also appear in a particular LEGO game, LEGO Dimensions. So Ninjago, LEGO City, Doctor Who, the LEGO Movie, and Lord of the Rings are now connected to Godzilla. But we're not done yet, because guess who else is in Dimensions? The Simpsons. And The Simpsons had a crossover with Family Guy. I think that about covers every significant figure from the last couple decades, so if you see a celebrity cameo in any of these shows, rest assured that they are now connected to Godzilla. Let's do a quick fire round with some other crossovers Godzilla himself had. Dave the Diver and by extension Dredge, Monkey Ball and by extension Hatsune Miku, Fall Guys and by extension Too Many Characters to Count, and Gigabash and by extension Ultraman. But now, it's finally time. Before he was added to this game, I was planning this to be a big last minute reveal, but looking back at all the characters I mentioned, it's extremely obvious. Ryu, Xenomorph, Hatsune Miku, Darth Vader, TMNT, Marvel, DC, and Godzilla himself are all in Fortnite. You wanna know who else is in Fortnite? Travis Scott, Among Us and by extension Sans Undertale, Goku, even Skibidi Toilet. They are all connected to Godzilla. It's a shame this was so obvious in retrospect. I'd have loved to have had a final trick up my sleeve. Godzilla to Marvel, Marvel to Disney Infinity, Disney Infinity to Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph to the entire internet. Every Disney princess, Godzilla canon. Every item on Amazon, Godzilla canon. You know what? Jeff Bezos, Godzilla canon. Never gonna give you up, Godzilla canon. The toxic gossip train, Godzilla canon. But oh no, we've not even begun. You see, at one point in the film, Ralph goes viral online before being bullied by trolls as a sad moment and a character arc, but who cares? If you haven't gotten it already, every YouTube video ever is Godzilla canon. This video is Godzilla canon. I am Godzilla canon. If you have a YouTube channel, you are Godzilla canon. If you leave a comment on this video, you will be canon to this nuclear dinosaur. Thank you. Now throughout this video, I have mentioned exactly 100 characters, one for each of my subscribers. I guess this means that the blob or the evil bird from Rio, but I'll let you all calmly and respectfully discuss this in the comments. Once again, a huge thank you to each and every one of my subscribers, and also to anyone watching this far into the video who isn't subscribed, as it helps out the algorithm and I'm glad I could entertain you for a while. I know that a lot of people have and are getting subscribers at a much faster pace than me, but I really don't mind being behind for me so my content is better to watch. Some of you might have noticed I don't ask you to subscribe in my videos, and one of the reasons is because I find it a bit annoying when I watch other people's videos. That is not intended to throw shade on anyone, and I know that many people rely on growth to continue making a living, and I myself have reminded people to subscribe in the past. Another reason is I wanted people to subscribe because they wanted to, not because they were reminded about the button or felt that they had to support a small creator. That's all I have to say for now, so have a wonderful day, see you all later.